told supporters that the vice president will not be speaking this evening. And there we go. We have a live look right now of the Vice President Kamala Harris watch party in D.C. at her alma mater. We also are getting word that former President Donald Trump will be taking the stage and speaking at any moment. Stay with us. We'll carry those comments live as they come in.
And maybe we could key up a side-by-side just to see if we're able to do that, guys. I know we've been working really hard to bring this to everyone, but you're seeing the grounds of Howard University right there moments ago. I mean, the place was packed. People were dancing.
It's clearing out fast.
Democratic chair came up and said that the vice president would not be speaking tonight, an indication of how the night's been going, a night that came in full of optimism. Peter Alexander on NBC saying that he spoke with somebody and asked about a vibe check. They said it's not good. Not good right now. So this is just an indication of what we're seeing right there in Washington, D.C. And if we do have live pictures of Florida where the former president is speaking, we can just kind of compare the vibe check, if you will, ourselves.
And while we're doing it, I think that's an important segue, because if you're a Democrat and you're seeing these pictures, you're not happy to see them. If you're a Republican, you're looking at these images from former President Donald Trump's watch party. Boy, that side-by-side tells a whole lot of the story right now. A lot of excitement. And we said going into the evening, no matter who wins tonight, history will be made. Former President Donald Trump will be one of the very few American presidents to take office, to serve one term, to lose, and then if things track as they're looking right now, and we want to be careful here because the ultimate winner of this race has not yet been called. We want to underline that. This race overall not yet been called. But if the former president becomes a president-elect, it's a historic moment that we're watching in real time here. Again, we don't know if that will be the case or not, but if you're watching on the left-hand side of your screen here, you're seeing a whole lot of folks who have hoped and who have, many of them, worked, and now many of them are anticipating that becoming the case.
And Deanna, I wanted to bring you in on this. I mean, is this an indication you're seeing one locally and one in D.C., two watch parties just kind of dismantling before 1 a.m. here? Several states still not called, but I mean, this could be an indication. What are you reading into this, looking at this side by side right now?
Well, as you call it, the vibe check is there. As you can see, President Trump's event is packed. I mean, they're shoulder to shoulder out there in their MAGA hats, looking very excited. Vice President Harris's events are clearing out. Even here in Georgia, it was basically empty when we went back to it, and now her headquarters event is also emptying out as well. So this just shows you that they're keeping track of what's going on, and since Vice President Harris isn't making any remarks, they're just going to assume that things aren't necessarily going their way.
Val, you see these images. You've worked in Democratic politics for a long time now. What goes through your mind when you see this split screen?
I mean, look, people want to come to these parties. They want, like, by 10 o'clock, you know, you're at 52% and the numbers keep going up. The elections nowadays are because I mean, I remember in 2018, you know, we waited until like maybe 3 a.m. to figure out that we had picked up about 16 House seats. And so, you know, I think that a lot of Democrats really dig into the numbers, and so if they're looking at numbers like this, and everybody at this point is scrolling on Twitter 24/7. So yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it is a disappointing to see these numbers at this point. And I think you know, you've been standing out there since, you know, 7, 8 o'clock. It's now almost 1 in the morning. And
I think the numbers in Georgia can really indicate, or really indicative of what we're seeing across the country, different than what we saw in 2020. While the race is close, you're talking about a 2 to 3 percentage point difference. It's not a 0.2% difference. It's not a 12,000 vote difference. It looks as if the Republicans, the Trump campaign, their push for early voting worked here. It looks as if people took advantage of the 2 weeks to 3 weeks, whatever they had, or in Georgia, 2 weeks, but around the country, took advantage of going in, voting early in person, using those absentee ballots. And you're talking now with 94% of that estimated vote here in Georgia. The state is called, but once again, 94% of the estimated vote in. 127,000 difference. Kamala Harris behind by 127,000.
And you two are reacting here because you know how much more close things were in 2020. Just about 11,800 votes separated Joe Biden and Donald Trump back in 2020.
That's what
Almost a 10x, almost a 10x boost in the margin as of 12:52 a.m. this morning. Donald Trump up substantially over Kamala Harris in Georgia, which is a state that has been called for Donald Trump. We can keep on this split screen as long as we like. If we want to go back to the map, just let me know. And I think we are going to go back to the map in a moment. I think it's a good time to talk about our nationwide picture. There we are. Good timing, guys. Let's take a look here. So, Deanna, I know that you're a Republican, and I know that you want to see this race called for former President Donald Trump, but I think it's sometimes illustrative to have folks discuss the counterfactual. So let me put this question to you. What is the path left for Democrats right now?
Well, she'd have to.
It sounds like you're struggling to see one.
Yes, but Pennsylvania, Michigan, those would be big wins for her. Arizona would be a big win for her. As of right now, it doesn't look like it's going in that direction, but those would be the line items that she would really need.
And
Sorry,
I'm just going to bring up the numbers from Pennsylvania and Michigan right now.
Yeah, and we'll draw it up here too.
92% of it in.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, look.
Trump up by 51% of the vote.
Does that say 220?
So
220,000 votes.
We were looking at the same number, yes.
Pennsylvania, 90% in now, 220,000 vote advantage. Former President Donald Trump.
Deanna, are you trying to rub that into foul?
I'm not
Is that what that was?
We are
Looking like
still.
Trump did the LeBron James on them,
Well, and the race still yet to be called. We are waiting to hear from the former president, who should be taking the podium in West Palm Beach at his election night watch party momentarily. Again, stay with us, because as soon as he steps up to that podium, we will take you live to West Palm Beach.